Hello again, Bingo fans, and welcome to Pinball Warrior 2 Collector's Edition. The rules are simple. All squares are worth the same as they are in regular play, and each player will have 1 minute to analyse the board before they're let loose in a 15-minute dash to score as many points as possible. The player who scores the most points in that time frame will win the coveted Pinball Warrior Champion title, with the tiebreaker going to whoever gets their final score faster. Good luck! It's time to play Pinball Warrior 2! Right, and here we have Jakeyaz, who looks like going towards Shibuya Terminal for the most controversial play so far.
Really wild stuff.
33% of players go for Shibuya Terminal to start with. And go for the the boostants, bustants, jumpant.
Sometimes that's just how that trick is. Sometimes it's just unkind.
At least it goes straight to Hikage Street. Going up here towards the crane. So crane first, and then I can only assume centre floating.
Yeah.
I say as if this isn't the third recording due to technical issues.
I was gonna say, the universe does not want this to be recorded.
Right, so there's crane, point 1.
It's an interesting first square to have marked.
Yeah, I feel like, so far, I think both games started the same. It was Dogen, Shibuya, either Chu or Hikage, I can't remember. But like, straight to Hikage, it's like deep into, oh, and there we go. Bit of indecision whether or not going to centre floating. And the answer is not. Going kind of as deep as you can in, you know, light side or Shibuya Cho. It's not a very deep level.
Yeah. Into Chuo now. Kind of the expected next area.
Yep, it's just Shibuya Cho, it's not that deep. Over we go onto good old trusty south of Hayashi.
Ooh, no fancy jump tech.
Ooh, hiss.
Going for right canal though, a kind of controversial square, not a particularly popular one.
I've seen a few people go for right canal, you know, with my god hindsight vision of I've seen everyone's board. I don't think it's like a terrible square, honestly. The only downside is you have to like leave, so it's quite a big commitment.
Yeah, of the Shibuya area squares, it's like
it's the only one that's not like a clear cut. I should get this.
Yeah, it's slightly more of a time commitment. Other than obviously Dogen Graffiti.
Oh yeah, but who's gonna go for Dogen Graffiti? Dogen Graffiti,
Nobody.
brackets, my beloved. Maybe if I put Highway Zero Graffiti, more people would have ended their board there.
Maybe.
Everyone seems to say, oh yeah, Highway Zero Graffiti, might as well do it, but no one ever respects the Dogen opening. It's tragic.
Maybe next season we can put Highway Zero Graffiti in there.
A square that just says any graffiti. That's an idea for a spicy board.
Yeah. Alright, going for Shibuya Cubby, not bothering with the boostless bus jump this time.
Yeah, don't need the boostless bus jump when you're going in from that angle.
Yeah.
And out into garage.
Will they go for Dogen?
I believe they might. Straight into Dogen, unless they're going to 99th, which would be unorthodox, let's say.
A decision.
Yeah. Into Dogenzaka Hill we go, for I can only assume just the soul, because, as we said, no one goes for the graffiti. Which is tragic.
All of these graffiti haters.
All those diagonals, which also have horrible squares.
Big fan of the diagonal that has Dogen graffiti, top of observatory, and Kibo upper platform.
Just go fast.
Yeah. The most viable bingo on this board, I think.
Yeah, but you got to also look at FLZ 99th, South Hayashi, and Bottom Point. Not bad squares at all. But you know, also requires Dogen 100%. Anyway, we're going to Rakakudai Heights, all the way into sewers it would seem, unless we're taking a bit of a wild detour.
It would be a very wild detour. But no, looks like they're just going into sewers.
And through the sewers we go. They've really spoiled for choice when you get to the sewers. You've got so many levels you can go into. Truly, the sewers is the second hub of Jet Set Radio Future. And straight into Bottom Point.
Alright, so here we've got right half pipe and catwalk near cube.
Yeah, so you're essentially just going down the left side. I do wonder, when it comes to both these souls, would it be faster to Sexy Fish?
I was just thinking that. I don't know.
See, I'm no timekeeper. But I'm thinking if you're going to go out this way, I mean, it depends which way you go out. I mean, you could go out the quote-unquote normal way, like, you know, do a lap. But I feel like when you've just gotten to where cube is, it's fast to just turn around, you know, do the old Xbox 360 strat of turning 360 degrees and running away.
Incredible stuff.
Here we go, we've got the good old catwalk near cube. And going back out the way they came.
The Bottom Point souls are a little bit of a commitment just because you have to spend all this time getting back out of Bottom Point.
Yeah, but the Bottom Point souls are kind of... It's kind of like a double up on Right Canal, really. I mean, getting to them takes a bit of time, but it's the fact you've got to also retrace your steps all the way back. There's no, like, quick way out. In fact, even if you could void out, you're just going back to the middle of the level, so...
No escape.
Yeah, no escape.
Alright, I would assume next we'll see, like, Sewer's entrance and maybe FRZ.
Yeah, I feel like Sewer's entrance is a gimme. Like, you know, who doesn't go for Sewer's entrance? It's kind of just sitting there. It's one of those squares I put on the board, like right at a street. Like, everyone's going to get to that square at some point. Centre of Dark, I think, was like the other one in each area where it's almost guaranteed that everyone's going to get it at some point.
Yeah. The Shibuya cubby of Kogane.
Yeah. The chicken of the sea, as it were.
What does that mean?
I think it's like, is it salmon? Or trout is the chicken of the sea? I think.
Fair enough.
A fish is the chicken of the sea, that's all I know. I'm not a fisherman. Believe it or not.
Is that what the soul is called now? Chicken of the sea soul?
Perhaps. And then we've got to have one in Dark Side that's chicken of the sky.
This is why the community doesn't let you name things anymore.
Did they ever? I think I've been vetoed on almost all of my names at this point. Anyway,
I wonder why.
we're making our way to the top of FRZ, which I can only assume means we're going towards the very top end of First Maze, given the location and the soul that's just been picked up.
Excellent deduction.
Thank you. I've just finished playing a detective game, so you know, I'm really putting my skills to use. Oh, and it looks like middle of upper area down tube as well. A good combo. Brackets, both souls in the entire level.
That was a crazy clip.
I love that clip, it's so good.
Incredible.
It's just a swish and flick out.
Alright. I don't think we're gonna see any more sewer areas souls. Maybe like a couple in RDH. Top of station.
Yeah, I feel like top of station is almost like I'd be more surprised if we don't see it.
Yeah.
Considering if you're leaving sewers, it's more or less on the way out. You know, it's a slight detour, but you get an extra point. You know, and I think even more important than a point. You know, we're not even getting it, but even more important than a point is the fact that you're getting more of the square covered. Though, top of station, not really that useful unless you're also getting keyboard to tower. Considering you'd need Dogen Spray to finish the horizontal.
Gonna say, it's not in a fantastic place on the board.
Though if they did Dogen Spray, who knows? Could be the key to it all. Anyway, we are going to go into 99th Street. I can only assume we're gonna see, because we haven't seen Center of Light or Light Wall Ride, either or really. But I assume, yep, we're gonna see Chicken of the Sky here. Center of Dark, and a nice quick boost out of the level into the Skyscraper District and Pharaoh Park.
We have a couple SDPP squares, but also they might just go further in for Highway Zero or Dino.
Yeah. I mean, we're coming up to 11 minutes on the timer right now, so 4 minutes left. It's really a case of you've got 3 areas you can really explore. You've got to choose which ones you want to do, how quickly you want to do. I mean, Sky Dino is basically everyone. Everyone will go there at some point. I think that is the level that kind of decides, yeah, Dark Side is where the run's going to end.
Yeah. And the dinosaurs are just so good. Like, there are
yeah. You can just go into one into another.
Yeah, right next to each other on the map and on the board. Like,
yeah. The only negative is the fact they're so far in, but realistically, I mean, let me put it this way: it's basically 2 free points, assuming you don't mismanage your time horribly.
Yeah.
So there's 1, and there's 2.
That column 5 bingo would be so good if not for Kibo upper platform.
The good old corner squares. Works every time. It looks like we're going to get a nice good old fashioned Bermuda triangle.
Incredible tech.
Best tech of the decade. Tech of the year 2024. Into Skyscraper District again. So really, what's remaining? There's Highway Zero directly in the entrance. There's Highway Zero Trash Pit, and there's Floating Pink Half Pipes and Top of Observatory. Top of Observatory is a bingo, though it looks like the only realistic bingo left.
Yeah.
If Jakey had gone for Light Wall Ride, you know, one of those easy things to look at in hindsight, that would have been basically a free bingo going to Highway Zero.
It would have, yeah. But sometimes the decision making is tough.
Oh yeah, 1 minute's not enough.
Oh, for sure.
1 minute's me being generous, but I'm also fairly aware that it is not enough.
Mm-hmm.
The best laid plans and all that always go well, I think is how the poem went.
Yeah. That's definitely it.
Yeah. Right, so coming up to 1.5 minutes left on the timer, we're going to see Top of Observatory, which is going to give us a bingo.
Also kind of a controversial square. Has not been particularly popular.
I mean, if you were to end on that square and it gave you a bingo, maybe 2, like that would be a pretty cool square to end it on. But you'd have to really prepare. I mean, what I'm really interested in, and I would be interested if anyone was up to taking up the challenge, is a perfect bingo board, or pinball bingo board. Because, I don't know, I make all these claims like, oh, that could have been good, that could have been good. I don't know what I'm talking about, I just made the board and thought, ha, this will be funny.
No spoilers, but Dace and Krabby might be working on that.
Ooh, and there's Floating Pink Half Pipes, and with 35 seconds left on the timer roughly. I think that's going to be the last square.
Yeah, probably not enough time to get anywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, Jakey's trying to hustle, but I think... I mean, given the layout of the board they had going into Sky Dino, that was probably the best play they had just based on the bingo that was available. But as we're coming up here, that is time, leaving us with 17 points. And that puts Jakey quite comfortably between our previous players. Next up we're going to have Krabby, and you'll get to see what tricks he has up his sleeve very soon. But until then, it doesn't matter if you're midway through Limbo, there's nothing that will stop Jet Set Radio Future Bingo.